Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Design with Rusbe. Continuing with CSWA Practice Problems, today we'll work on question 6.3. Let's take a look at this question. So in this question, unit of measurement is millimeter gram second. Like always, we need to ensure we are using the same unit of measurement in SolidWorks setting. Now, looking at the difficulty of this question, it's shown that it's an easy question, but in my opinion, this is not a really easy question. It could be more like a medium or even difficult question. And the main reason is difficulties to understand the drawings and the details here. But don't worry about it. If you have any difficulties in solving this question or you're not able to find the correct answer, I'm going to show you how to solve this question with two different methods. The reason I'm showing you how to solve it with two different methods because it's a difficult question, and at the end of the day I want you to have flexibility to choose between different approaches. So at the end of the day it's up to you to choose the method that works for you. So with this introduction, let's jump into SolidWorks and start modeling this part. In SolidWorks, first we need to check unit of measurement, and you can see that we have millimeter gram second, which is a correct unit of measurement. Now I'm going to start with making the hexagons. We have two hexagons in this geometry, so I'm going to make those first. So in order to do that, click on the sketch and then choose top plane. Now here I'm going to start with the small hexagon. So click on polygon command here, and of course you can see that the number is 6 here, so it's a hexagon, so we're good to go. Now start from the origin and make a hexagon. In order to define this geometry, I can click on this top line, and either from here or the left side I can choose horizontal relation. Now looking at the drawing, you can see that the distance between top line and a bottom line for a small hexagon should be 4 mm. And now this geometry is fully defined. Click on feature, click on extrude boss, and then here for the height, according to the drawing, the height for this small hexagon should be 4 mm. So click here, change it to 4, and then click on OK. Awesome, so that's the first hexagon. Now let's focus on the second one. Click on the sketch, click on the sketch. I'm going to choose this bottom surface, and then here again I click on polygon command. Number is 6, so we're good. And then let's make a hexagon. Same as before, relation for the top line, we want it to be horizontal, and according to the drawing, the distance between the top line and a bottom one should be 6 mm. Now click on feature, click on extrude boss, and then here for the height, as you can see in the drawing, the overall height of the geometry is 17 mm. The height of the first part was 4 mm, so we are left with 13 mm. So here for the height, we have 17 minus 4, which is 13 mm. Click on OK, and that's it. Awesome, so first part of the geometry is made. Next, I'm going to focus on the arc shape. The arc with a radius of 4.5 mm. So let's click on a sketch. Click on a sketch. And here I need to choose a plane. Click on the drop-down menu. And for the plane, I'm going to choose a plane which is passing through the corners. If you look here, the front plane is passing through this corner. So click on it. Now click on arc command, and then here I'm going to make an arc shape. Of course, I want this point of the arc to be right on this corner edge. So click on a point, hold control, click on this line, and then here you can choose coincident. The radius of the arc should be 4.5 mm. So this is 4.5. And looking at the drawing, we can see that the center point of the arc should fall right on this edge. Hold control, click on the edge, and choose coincident. And now you can see that this arc is fully defined. Because I want to use revolve cut command to cut this geometry, it's easier to close this arc. So I click on line command, and then I'm going to close this. Also, because again I'm going to use a revolve cut command, I need a center line. So click on this drop down menu, click on the center line, and make axis of rotation. Okay, so now we have this geometry we have axis of rotation. All I need to do is to click on feature, click on revolve cut. And SolidWorks automatically detected the contour, axis of rotation, everything is good. Click on OK, and that's it. As you can see, we made this part of the geometry, 4.5mm arc. We used revolve cut command, and we made this part of the geometry. However, as expected, you can see that we have a weird part here, because when we revolve cut our feature, the feature cannot cover these regions. Okay, that's the part that we are going to cover with another arc. So first part was 4.5mm arc. Second part is going to be 1mm arc. Okay, so now this part is done. Let's focus on the second part, which is more for this area. So now, in order to make a 1mm arc, click on the sketch, click on the sketch, click on the drop down menu, and this time I'm going to select right plane. I want a plane that passes through the center point of these edges, and that's a right plane. So what I need to do here is to get rid of this excess part, right? So I click on arc command, and then here I'm going to make arc like this. Same as before, I want this point to lie on this line. So hold control, click on it, and then choose coincident. I want the center point of the arc to be right on this top surface. So click on the line and choose coincident. And finally, the radius of the arc should be 1mm. Click on a smart dimension. This radius should be 1mm. Awesome. So now I have this arc. Let's make it like a close contour. So I click on line command, and then I use a straight line here. Now, in order to make this edge like a line, again, if you remember, you have the edge already. All you need to do is to change this edge to a sketch. And the command to use for this purpose is convert entities. Click on it and select this edge. Click on OK, and SolidWorks changes this edge to this sketch. Of course, I don't need this part, so click on trim entities to clean this. And now I have this close contour. Awesome. So now you can see this part is made. All I need to do is to extrude cut this. Click on feature, click on extrude cut, and then here I want to go to both direction. Click on OK, and that's it. And now you can see this 1mm arc is made here. Of course, I want this to be applied to all these sides. So what I can do, I can take advantage of circular pattern. In order to use circular pattern, you can click on feature, click on drop down menu, and choose circular pattern. And then here, all you need to do is to select the reference for this pattern. Of course, I'm going to select this arc. 6 is correct, and extrude cut, which was this one, is already selected. And now you can see the preview. I'm going to apply this to all these edges. If you don't want to use circular pattern, you can repeat this process 6 times to make the final geometry. But of course, using circular pattern is recommended because it makes the modeling process much faster. Click on OK, and that's it. So as you can see, now I have the 1mm arc made on every single edge. Awesome. So now we need to go to the next step, which is making a fillet type cut on these top edges and the bottom edges. In order to do that, I'm going to take advantage of revolve cut command again. So click on the sketch, and then here click on the drop down menu, and I want to select a plane that is again passing through the corner of the geometries. Right plane is not the one, front plane is the one. Click on it, and now all I need to do here is to make 2 triangles. The first one, which is for the small hexagon, is going to be something like this. That's a triangle I need. And the bottom one is something like this. Looking at the question, you can see that for this small hexagon we need 0.5mm and 45 degree. And for the bottom one, we need 1 millimeter and 45 degree. And of course, because we want to use revolve cut command, we need axis of rotation. So I click on center line command, and I'm going to make a center line here. Now I have two contours ready. I click on feature, I click on revolve cut. Both contours are selected, axis of rotation is selected. All I need to do is to click on OK, and that's it. Awesome, that's it. Now we have the final geometry. It's time to check and make sure that this model is the correct model. Let's go back to the question and check the volume. In the question, you can see the total volume here. The total volume for this geometry is 427 cubic millimeters. Let's go back to our model and check the volume for our model. In SolidWorks, in order to check the volume, you can click on Evaluate and then Mass Properties. And here you can see that the total volume that we found is 427 cubic millimeters, which is showing this approach works, our model is correct, and there's no problem with it. Okay, awesome. That's the first approach. Now you know the first approach to model this geometry. Now, starting this part of the video, I'm going to focus on the second approach, and I'm going to present to you how to model this part with a different mindset. So before doing that, let's go back to the question, and I want to show you something. Okay, here, I want you to focus on 1 millimeter fillet. If you see, they dimension 4 millimeter from top surface of a small hexagon to the edge of the fillet. But I want to ask you to think about one step prior to having a fillet. Normally, before having a fillet, you have a solid edge, and then you apply fillet. If for 1 second you imagine the fillet is not there, the real height of the small hexagon would be 4 millimeter plus 1 millimeter, and the real height would be up to this location. Why? Because if we think that the fillet is not there, that means that we are getting back 1 millimeter from the fillet, and we should add that to 4 millimeter, which means that the overall height of the small hexagon should be 5 millimeter, not 4. I hope this is clear for you. I understand that this is difficult. That's why I prefer the first approach that I showed you. But if you want to focus on the second approach, this is how we want to do it. Instead of having a 4 millimeter hexagon, we're going to have 5 millimeter. Why 5? Because for 1 second, imagine the fillet is not there. Instead of having a 4 millimeter, we are going to have 4 millimeter plus 1 millimeter, which is 5 millimeter overall height of the small hexagon. So with this assumption, with 5 millimeter small hexagon, let's go back to SolidWorks and start modeling this part again. In SolidWorks, we're starting with the same idea, making hexagon, but with a different height. So let's click on Sketch. Let's click on a sketch. I'm going to choose top plane, and I choose hexagon, and I'm going to make this. Of course, the top line should be horizontal. The length from the top to the bottom should be 4 millimeter. This is a small hexagon. I click on feature, I click on extrude bus. Here, if you remember, for the first approach, we use 4 millimeter height. But this time, as I explained in the beginning of this part, I'm going to use 5 millimeter, 4 millimeter plus 1. So I'm going to change this to 5 millimeter, click on OK, and that's it. Next, click on sketch, click on sketch. I'm going to choose this top surface, and then I'm going to click on hexagon again, making a hexagon. This line should be horizontal, and the length from the top to the bottom should be 6 millimeter. Next, click on feature, click on extrude bus. Of course, this time, instead of 13 millimeter, we are going to have 12 millimeter because the overall height is 15 millimeter. First section was 5 millimeter, so second section should have 17 minus 5, which is 12 millimeter height. Click on OK, and that's it. Awesome, so that's the first step. Same as before, different height. Next, I want to focus on a fillet, 1 millimeter fillet. Click on fillet command. I'm going to add that directly to my geometry. Change the radius to 1 and select all these edges. Click on OK, and that's it. Last step is to make rest of the features by using revolve cut command. I'm going to do that in just one command. Let's click on a sketch, and then click on the drop down menu. And here I'm going to select front plane because this plane is passing through the corner of the geometry, and that's what I want. Click on front plane. Now let's start with making this sketch for all the features. Click on line command. This is the first feature I'm gonna have, and of course it should be a 0.5 millimeter by 45 degree angle. Next feature is the bottom one. This should be a 1 millimeter feature with 45 degree angle. And last one is the arc shape, 4.5 millimeter arc shape here. So I click on arc command, and then here I'm gonna make an arc shape. Of course, I want this point and this line to be coincident. I want the radius of the arc to be 4.5 millimeter, and I want the center point of the arc to be right on this line. And now I have a fully defined geometry. Now, of course, I prefer to have a close contour to use for a revolve cut command. So what I can do here, I can click on convert entities like the previous step, and I select this edge and this edge. I'm asking SolidWorks to change these edges to a sketch. So click on OK, and that's it. So now I have the close contour. Last step is to click on center line and make a center line for revolve cut command. Now I have three features. Click on feature, click on revolve cut, and then here the line is selected. That's a center line. All I need to do is to select contours. I select this contour, this one, and I select this one. Click on OK, and that's it. Okay, awesome. So that's the final geometry. Now it's time to check the total volume and make sure that this method and this approach also works. So in order to check the volume, you click on evaluate and then match properties. And here you can see the total volume. The total volume that we found, again, it's 427 cubic millimeters. This is showing this model is correct, and the second approach is also correct. Okay, awesome. That's it. That's a wrap for this video. I hope everything is clear in this video. Remember, this is not an easy geometry, and I wanted to show you in this video how to model this part with two different approaches. The first one is easy to understand, and you don't need to do any sort of interpretation or back calculation. You just follow the drawing, but more steps, but you can get the final answer. The second approach, however, you need to do some sort of reverse engineering to find the true position of the edge of this small hexagon, and then after that you can go through just 4 steps and then get the final answer. At the end of the day, it's up to you guys to choose whatever method works for you. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have comments or feedback, please leave comments down below. Thanks again for watching. My name is Rusbe. Hope to see you again soon in the next videos.